Hello, NFL fans and especially Green Bay Packer fans. Good to have you here on Kempner Sports. First of all, happy Canadian Thanksgiving. I don't know about you guys, but I'm Canadian. Love NFL football. Love Thanksgiving because we get Canadian Thanksgiving and American Thanksgiving because America does Thanksgiving amazingly and has all those football games on that Thursday. So I am pumped about American Thanksgiving, but until then, we are thankful throughout the year and especially on Canadian and American Thanksgiving. Some of you might be asking, how are you a Packers fan if you're from Canada? In fact, I'm from the west coast of Canada. How did I? Well, I fell in love with the Packers as a teenager, watching games, seeing Brett Favre play. He was just unbelievably good, as we know, and he had so many comebacks that how do you not cheer for a guy like that? So that's how I became a Packers fan. So I've been a Packers fan for, let's just say 30 plus years. So it's been fantastic. Maybe not 30, well, maybe, 30 years, I bet you. So tonight's game against the Detroit Lions in Lambeau Field, I was nervous about it because I actually am surprised, and I think the league's surprised on how good the Lions are. We did not expect them to be that good. My initial analysis, and it's absolutely true, I don't care if I'm a Packers fan or not, the Lions got robbed. The Lions got robbed. Those calls were horrific, especially the two phantom calls on Trey Flowers. There was no way those should have been called. That was the difference in the game. And I feel bad as a Packers fan that the officiating was that bad. But there's no way those should have been called. That pass interference that didn't get called as well, I don't know what they're seeing. I don't know if it's because he put his hand there and then got his hand up, but he hit him before the ball got there, and that's a foul. The one on Allison, the hit, it was not an intentional helmet-to-helmet hit, and I understand he was trying to go for the ball, but I still think it's a dangerous play, and I'm mixed on that one. But those other three calls to me were blatantly unexcusable. The refs were horrific, and I usually say if you have to blame the refs, it means you didn't play well enough. But in this case, Detroit, you got robbed. Speaking of Allison, I hope he's well. That looked awful what happened to him, and I was very nervous about how he was going to come back. I didn't think he was going to come back. In fact, he was going to be in protocol for concussions, and I don't know how long he's going to be out for. But our wide receivers on a whole tonight struggled. We definitely missed Devontae Adams. Allison, speaking of Allison, before the injury, had a couple good plays, but I felt overall tonight he was not good enough. He did not look at his best. Valdez-Scantling had one 64-yard monster catch, but overall not good enough. Just subpar, in my opinion. Shepard was horrific. Not only did he drop the kick return, by the way, kick return, here's the thing about that. He was not supposed to be a kick returner. We had Trevor Davis down, and we sent him down. We should have never sent him down because the Oakland Raiders picked him up. Great pickup by them. And we saw tonight why we needed a guy like Trevor Davis. I was really excited to watch Trevor Davis do kick returns and get in the odd play as a wide receiver as well. But that hit to the face, like he slipped, obviously. Still, you can't make those mistakes. I've been very frustrated with our drafting this year in the way that in the second round, and I know that we had to go get Savage to be our safety, who we did not have again tonight because of injury. And I'm really glad we do have Savage, but I was really hoping we would draft Metcalf, and I know that we needed the safety. I wish we would have traded down after that to go get Eric Metcalf because I felt like receivers-wise, we need help. But again, that didn't happen. But then, out of nowhere, and literally nowhere, is Lassard. I've never heard of Lassard. I didn't even know it was on our roster. I apologize for saying that, but that's just a true fact. I had no idea, and boy, did he impress. He didn't just make a couple great catches. He was great the whole time he was out there. Good to see that. Maybe that's why they didn't end up drafting Metcalf, because they felt they had Valdez-Scantling there. They had Allison. They had Lassard. They had Shepard. But tonight you could see we had some huge holes. So thankful for Lassard, and that catch was unbelievable for the touchdown. I have a question. Who's the best tight end in Green Bay? Newsflash, it is not Jimmy Graham. Jimmy Graham is slow. Now, granted, slow tight ends are somehow effective in the NFL. Jason Witten is a perfect example of that. The guy is slow as molasses, and that's slow, and somehow is effective. I don't know if he's a great route runner. I don't know what he does, but he's done it in his entire career, but he feels like he's slower. Jimmy Graham, to me, just like he's either unbelievable or awful, and there's no in between. And I felt like tonight he was awful. He made one catch that was perfect and needed to be caught, but he was not good. He should have scored that one that hit his hands in the end zone. You have to score those touchdowns, and it's just been really disappointing watching Jimmy Graham. I hope he turns it around, but Mercedes Lewis, who's 35 years old, is the best tight end on our team. In fact, he should get more reps. He's a fantastic player, and at his age, I don't know how he's doing it, but he is. Aaron Jones had 4 touchdowns last game, was so excited to come back and play tonight, wanted to have a big game. It was a bad game. What was his numbers? 11 rushes for 47 yards. That is terrible. Terrible. Then he had the fumble. Then he dropped the wide open touchdown pass. Oh my goodness. But Jamal Williams, wow. This guy's a man. He was unbelievable. He was a man on a mission. The guy was awesome. He had 104 rushing yards on 14. Now, they weren't just 104 rushing yards. It was like getting beat, lowering the shoulder, pushing through. I was so impressed with Jamal Williams. He had that massive injury and has come back. It's great to see that we have both running backs back. Speaking of Detroit, though, playing great defense. Slay played. I did not expect Slay to play, and he was amazing. Stafford, wow, what a start. That flea flicker to start the game to Galladay was unbelievable. I felt like Stafford had a phenomenal first half. He was fantastic, but they just couldn't get those red zone touchdowns, so we were able to stay in the game. Galladay, 121 yards passing. What a stud. This kid his future's bright. They might be talking about him like Calvin Johnson one day. I'm not sure. My advice to Detroit, give the ball to Kerryon Johnson. He got 13 rushes and 4 passing targets. That is not good enough. I don't know what your scheme is, but if you want to win games, give the ball to the playmakers and let them make plays. I don't know. Just seems pretty common to me. Speaking of someone who's making plays, Aaron Rodgers' greatness is absolutely fantastic to watch. I mean, what more could you want? This guy is unbelievable. His greatness continues and continues. He is an unbelievably good quarterback. The pass across the middle to Jimmy Graham, where Jimmy actually caught pass, perfect. Perfect timing, perfect window. They call that a dot in Madden, and they call it a dot in NFL too. Shepard, the pass to Shepard that went off the mask, perfect, but Shepard slipped. The pass to Lassard, perfect. You couldn't have placed it any better. It reminded me of Russell Wilson's touchdown pass to Lockett. You couldn't have placed it in a better spot. I felt like that was the Lassard touchdown pass tonight as well. Speaking of Russell Wilson, if I had to pick an MVP right now, I would be picking Russell Wilson. He's on fire, but I think Rodgers is starting to be part of that conversation. Defensively, I felt like King he was not good for us. In fact, that first flea flicker was him getting burned. The second big passing play that burned us, again, King. I felt like he really struggled. I also felt like there was a pass that he should have got called on defensive pass interference, and he didn't. I don't feel like he did well. He did a couple good things, but he struggled against Galladay. Now, granted, Galladay's good. So Preston Smith has just impressed the entire season. Like, we knew Preston Smith, but we didn't know Preston Smith. This guy is unbelievably clutch. And my thing to the entire NFL, whoever we play, listen to me. You need to understand, on third down, when you need a big play, double team Preston Smith. Maybe you're double teaming Zadarius Smith, but you need to be double teaming Preston Smith because he's a playmaker, makes big plays in big moments of games. He is a game changer. Love having him on our team, and was unbelievably good tonight. My synopsis of the entire game: the Detroit Lions deserved to win, but with the refs' help and Crosby's game-winning goal, we are 5-1. 5-1, and that is unbelievable because we are 3-0 against the division. Oh my goodness, we couldn't have decided to have a better start than that. Oh man, this has been fantastic. Next week we play the Oakland Raiders, who's coming off just beating our rival, the Bears, which was a huge win for the Raiders, and they've just been preparing all week on their bye week. It's going to be an incredible matchup. I'm interested to see what happens. Man, guys, thanks so much for watching. What did you think about the game? What did you think about all these controversial calls? What did you think about what happened? What did you think about Aaron Rodgers? I would love to know. And of course, go Pack, go.